What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Jess. You're watching Keto Rewind. I'm enjoying a hot cup of coffee, and I thought we would talk real quick about the results from my cardiologist. I get a lot of questions because what I have is pretty unique. I'm 38 years old and I have cardiomyopathy. That's not something that you normally, that's not something a 38-year-old usually has to worry about. That's something that's, old people have to worry about. So anyways, I thought I'd make this video about it and explain a little bit what's going on and what my results are. And if my weight loss journey had any impact on what I have. So let's get started. So before we get started, I want to say that I am not a doctor. I am speaking on my own results that I had with my doctor. So please talk to your doctor before you do anything. And know that this video is only about me and my experience and what I have. So let's get started. All right, so last week, I should say annually, I have been going to a cardiologist since I was like 22-ish. This is not something that's new. This is something I've had for a long time. In fact, I was actually born with this. It's a genetic heart defect, and it's the LMNA gene, which causes cardiomyopathy. It is not weight related at all. It's a genetic mutation, if you will. And unfortunately, it's really rare, and it sucks. So my dad has it and my sister has it. We had a heads up that, this is not something that's new to our family, but we've had a heads up for a while that this was, my future. Watching my dad progress. Unfortunately for him, there was no genetic testing when he was younger. There wasn't even half the stuff that he has access to now when he first was diagnosed. So, unfortunately, that meant his condition progressed a lot worse or faster because he was untreated for so many years. So thankfully, having my dad's story, I had the heads up. I was diagnosed years ago, and I've been having treatment since then to slow mine down. So I have a load of things. The quick little cliff notes of what I have. Asymmetric cardiomyopathy. I have I'm just gonna put this word on the screen, something mitral regurgitation, which cliff notes, that means leaky valves. I also have a atrial fibrillation. I have, and also icing on the cake, more rare, I have a right-sided aortic arch with mirror image branching, which essentially means my aorta's backwards or flipped. So I literally am a just mess of rare genetic issues. So, but I'm resilient. It's going to take a lot to bring me down. So, but point being, I've got a lot of stuff going on, but that's my normal. So I'll rewind, when I was morbidly obese, when I was, had this going on, I was on more medication for this, when I was 300 plus pounds. Once I lost 100 pounds-ish, I was taken down to just one pill a day, and that one is something that I'm going to be on the rest of my life because it helps the pump be more efficient with the condition that I have. It's something that I will always be on. There's no coming off of this medication. So unfortunately, I have to take a pill, but you know what? It slows things down in its tracks, and it allows me to live. So anyways, fast forward, I should say rewind it back when about 2 years ago when I started my journey, my cardiologist is the one who gave me the idea to do keto. She is the best cardiologist. She's changed my life. As I've been to a gazillion cardiologists, but she just stands out because she basically gave me the confidence that I can do this, and I have to do this. So she is also an advocate for intermittent fasting, which, I trust somebody who's literally digging through hearts in surgery all the time to give me medical advice, because she's in there and she sees, what's happening in your heart, and if she says keto and fasting is good, that's all I need to know. And thankfully I took her advice and I lost, up to my maximum of 130 pounds. But I'm sitting over a little over 100 right now, like 104 or something like that. So what does all this mean? Well, I went for my annual checkup, and for one, she was super, super proud of me because the last time I saw her was on a Zoom meeting. And so she didn't get to actually see the full me in person because 2 years ago was the last time she saw me in person. Due to the COVID thing, my annual appointment was on Zoom. So this was the first time I've seen her physically for 2 years. So she was through the roof, so proud, and it was such a great feeling. So I had an echocardiogram, EKG, the standard testing that I do every year. So the first $1 million question I asked her was like, all right, now I've lost all this weight. Am I better? And unfortunately, what I have is not weight related. I was told this when I first got diagnosed. I was told that I was born with this condition. It's not something that can be changed. It can't be fixed, can't be cured. I mean, the only way to fix it is with a heart transplant. So it's just something that can be managed to an extent. So, it crushes you to hear, like I knew already ahead of time that it's not fixable. I did know that, when you're 300 plus pounds and you're, BMI of like 44 or something, I did know that was adding fuel to the fire. But I knew that it didn't cause what I have for me personally. I knew being 300 pounds was making it worse or speed up. But for some reason, I still thought, all this hard work was gonna bring me like I'm cured. I don't need to have, I don't have a heart defect anymore, So it was like a false hope that I knew better. But so anyways, she's like, no, you're not any better, but you're not any worse. So 2 years ago, I was 300 something pounds. I, lose 100 something pounds, and here I am 2 years later, I'm not worse. So when I first hear, no, I'm not any better, that crushes you, but this is something that gets worse with time. So it's not worse. So there's like a silver lining, but it's so disappointing to know I've worked my tail off for like the past 2 years to change my life, change my lifestyle, but it can't fix me. So the good news is I'm not worse. So anyway, as we went on, I asked her a million questions, I'm like, is keto still a good thing? Should I still, because, there's always pushback from the keto police, keto haters, like, what's the newest thing? And she's like, no, keep doing keto. It's perfect. You're doing great. Stick with it. She's like, she goes, but you're at a turning point. You're at a point now where you're either going to keep this going or you're going to fall back in old habits. So make sure you fight and you show up every day and you try. And just do your best. So I was thinking to myself, I did gain 30 pounds over the holidays, like that. It caught up to me. So, then I got unfocused and, here I am, still trying to get that 30 pounds off. I've chiseled away like 6 pounds, but, I still have, 24 pounds to lose. So it's not all peachy. So it made sense. So I'm like, all right, well, what can I do? Do I keep doing keto? Do I do more fasting? Is fasting still safe for someone who has, what I have? And she said, yes. If anything, fasting is really going to give my heart a break. And you know what? I'm so thankful that I decided to do this whole lifestyle change. I love the fact that I do keto and fasting. Fasting is a tool to help reset your body's set point because it doesn't allow your metabolism to always be cut, and in a deficit. Instead, some days you're eating, some days you're not. Some hours you're eating, some hours you're not. And it makes your body just, well, I don't know what's going on here. So it can't focus on trying to get to, 300 pounds. It's like, okay, well, we're going to have to take some here and, get that weight down. So thankfully, I've been doing lots of fasting. I know when I feel my heart, I can feel what I have. Like I can count my pulse without touching it. I know when I'm fasting, my heart is quieter. And I don't know if it's because there's less anxiety, because I don't have to think about food and all this other stuff, but I physically feel better when I do fasting, and that's why I do fasting. It's not only about weight loss or a tool for weight loss. I do feel the quiet, I feel that in my body. So my game plan going forward, it kind of, every now and then, it's not that I got bad news, but I didn't get good news. I got a plan. So it gave me a little pep back into my step. I have not been doing a lot of fasting lately. I just do intermittent fasting, which is like 18-6 eating windows. I need to get back into extended fasts, every alternate day fasting, that kind of thing. And going forward, or probably starting next week, I'm gonna probably do some alternate day fasting. I am so busy with my kids with softball that it would actually be really easy because my kids love soup and a sandwich for dinner. And I won't have to think of this, this cuisine to feed everybody, like I just soup and sandwich, go to practice, go to softball game, and in meantime, it's a great time for me to have my extended fast or my alternate day fasting on those days. So next week, that's my plan. And also when I got down to 180 pounds, I was doing a lot of alternate day fasting. It really did help my body get to my goal weight. And maybe it's just overall a combination of things, but either way, I'm gonna probably do some more alternate day fasting, or at least next month's challenge will probably be alternate day fasting, and if you guys wanna do it with me. So although it was not the best appointment, she gave me a huge high five. She said that she wishes that all of her patients could be like me, because all of her patients it's too late, they're too far gone, and to see somebody that came in that's making things better, it just to stabilize myself. She goes, it's so cool to hear a success story. So she said, I'm a poster child for health and to keep going. So it was really cool, and I'm very thankful for a cardiologist that really understands keto and fasting, and in addition to being an awesome cardiologist. So if I could give you one pointer, I would suggest you find a doctor that supports a ketogenic lifestyle, that endorses fasting, whatever you do, find a doctor that aligns with your views. You don't want to go to somebody who is a vegan if you are a carnivore. You're not gonna really agree, and they're gonna be up to date on everything vegan versus what you need to hear for your specific case, carnivore, So it makes sense to have a doctor that is either living what you're doing or specializes in what you're doing. So, and that just means that you have more, like if you asked a question, they're gonna be more willing to have the answer than somebody who does not live the lifestyle or is not familiar with that lifestyle. So I strongly urge you, if you don't have a doctor that agrees with what you're doing, find one that does. There's so many amazing doctors out there. Get a referral, and be your own health advocate. If I could give you any advice, and if I didn't go to this doctor and learn about the lifestyle, I wouldn't be where I am today. So, and I'm so grateful for that. So that's basically my 2 cents. Alrighty, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, talk to your doctor. This video was only about my specific genetic heart defect, the LMNA gene, and basically living with cardiomyopathy at 38 years old. So I'll see you at the next video. I'm Jess, and you're watching Keto Rewind.